Well, it's been a minute. That's some good tea. And the reason I made this tea is not necessarily because I wanted to make a change, although I did. However, there's a technicality in the language I'm deciding to use in order to make these changes, and hence why I said the reason why I stopped making changes in my life to get better. Because even though this may be considered a change, it's actually an improvement to my usual morning routine. Or perhaps it's more beneficial, even though I really enjoy my coffee. And this is also based on your own intuitiveness, which is a word that's been coming up a bit in the content that I consume. In regards to eating, in regards to training, in regards to life in general. Most people who consume this type of content, who seek to make the change, or better still, make the improvement, do things that are more beneficial, that are more directive, or hold the direction better in leading oneself towards a desired outcome where the benefit is being held or where it exists. And actually along that way you actually implement small benefits, small changes, small improvements to get there. So the highlight in that is, as I mentioned, if that's you already know what it is that you know you need to do. It's the story, right? It's the narrative. It's the words that we use. So what's a common one? I've been saying it, you most likely have been saying it for ages. What's in the tea? We'll get to that soon. I need to change, right? Classic statement. Oh man, I need to make some changes. I really need to change things. So what is the immediate response to that? In your own mind, in your own conversation. It's yeah, I know, yeah. So all we do when we say that, or all I was doing, was just acknowledging it. It was just an acknowledgement of a fact. There was no action on the fact. Does that make sense? I need to change. Yeah, it's almost like saying to someone, even a stranger, oh, how's this weather? Yeah, how's this weather? It's raining. Yeah, it's raining. Oh, geez, it's hot. Yeah, it's hot. You both are just in a state of acknowledging the fact. No one does anything after it, do they? And that could continue throughout the whole day, throughout the whole week. We're all just acknowledging the problem, really, or the discomfort, or the annoyance, which is really what it is, isn't it? It's not that we need to change, although we do, or I do. It's more like I'm really annoyed with the way that I'm conducting myself. I'm really frustrated with my lack of willingness to do things that are going to improve my reality, or improve myself within the reality, or improve my reality in order to improve myself. So as I'm diving and expanding and expressing this or unveiling this type of conversation, I find that I'm moving away from the word of change, and it ends up coming down into improvements. And then you could make the statement, I need to make improvements. And the certain language, I feel, for me, has the effect of, let's say, bringing out or enticing that will to act on your own intuitiveness, to begin to do things that you know you need to do. Now there's another improvement that I've made, or we could say change, that I feel and believe has brought this about. And I'll go into that in an entirely separate video. But that is what I like to rephrase or reword again, just changing the word, and in that video I will explain why it's very similar to this, in a certain way. And it's the collection of my own masculine life force essence, or my own masculine essence, okay? Or you could say masculine spiritual energy. Well, spiritual energy actually becomes a byproduct of that. A lot of people call this semen retention, and I will be doing a video about why you need to stop that. You could call it clickbait in a way, but it is an actual factual statement, and I back that up with my own perspective, similar to this. Why you need to stop focusing on making changes in your life and change that to focusing on making improvements, and then focus on moving away from the statement and acknowledgement of the statement, because that's the action. There's two actions. I make a statement and then I acknowledge it. There's no follow-up. If I say, what is it that I need to improve? So now we're asking ourselves a question. Okay, let's start with this. Let's start with improvement of, let's have a herbal type tea. We'll make our own herbal type tea based on the information that is already out there. It's very simple. So some black peppercorns, broken up cinnamon quill, about a thumb size of ginger, just cut up roughly. There's some clove in there, and then there's English breakfast tea. That's it. So usually my go-to is coffee. It's habitual. This is a little more gentle, and it has a medicinal effect. There's medicinal benefits in there, which, by doing that on a regular basis, is going to make improvements to my health. True or false? Will improve how I conduct myself in the morning. Then I could make the improvement or the change of utilizing coffee as the pre-workout, as the appetite suppressant, instead of as the caffeine hit to so-called aid me in getting things done, even though it does to a degree. So that's the improvement, that's the alteration. You know you can do that. I know I can do that. That's one. What else can I do to make improvements, to improve myself? Have a more consistent routine at the boxing gym. At the moment, because I'm just getting back into it, I'm a little unstructured would be the word. There's no particular structure. It's just, okay, I feel like doing chest today. Okay, I feel like working out my arms. Yesterday I did deadlifts. One staple has been doing a random on the treadmill, which basically means it goes up and down. On its own accord, you can set the levels. And another thing is it asks you to enter your weight. So I'm thinking, let's use the power of suggestion here. Instead of me acknowledging the weight that I don't like, what would be the weight that I would potentially be at through the accumulation of performing these improvements? Right, let's put that in. So I'm exposing my mind to, hey, that's the weight on that. That's the weight on that. That's the weight on that. So I'm going to acknowledge that state. Is all of this making sense? So we've asked ourselves, what is it I know I need? What is it I need to do to start making improvements? Or what is it that I need to improve in my life? Question one. What do I need to do for those improvements to come about? Tick, tick, tick. I basically listed it off. However you want to list, you might be, I need to stop this phone occupying my fucking reality, giving all my attention to this rectangle electronical device instead of utilizing it. People think they use it, but when you're using it, it's occupying you instead of utilizing it. That can be a lecture all on its own. Maybe an improvement would be improvement of sleep, which would come back to this device. Turn the sucker off, shut it down. Have your little scroll fest. Then give yourself at least an hour to wind down and feed your mind with more beneficial sensations, thoughts, images, things that relate to where you want to be. And the improvements that you want to have. So for example, it's not ideal, but it is a practice that you can use to feed your subconscious before you go into sleep. And that could be, you could listen to a video of this nature. You could listen to a YouTube video talking about making your own tea, a weightlifting program, a running program, a lecture about manifestation, using the mind, tapping into the powers of the cosmos. Or whatever it is that you were seeking to gain or gather or experience the improvement of in your potentially perceived future reality, that which is in front of you. And the reason being because you're planting seeds of goodness, and that's part of that. So that is healthy. If you have trouble in the beginning, just shutting your phone off, putting it down, so that's an improvement. That's going to aid towards you getting a better sleep, because you don't have an electrical device going off its nuts, releasing out some form of electromagnetic pulses or radioactive fields which interrupt with our nervous system, right? Just to get a good sleep means you need to shut down your nervous system as much as possible. Just the bare necessities need to operate. You could almost consider it, if you look around your house, you turn off your lights, you might turn off your fans, you turn off your washing machine. What's the bare? Well, I need to keep the freezer running to keep my food frozen. I need to keep the fridge on. What else? Okay, so you consider the electrical appliances in your house as your nervous system. Just keep on the bare necessities that you need. I need my heart to go. I need my lungs. And I need some form of brain power to keep all of that operating. True or false? So in closing, we've asked ourselves, what is it that I need to fucking improve? Let's get real. What do I need to do to start implementing those improvements? And out of those, what is the most crucial? In most cases, they're all crucial. But if you can narrow it down to at least, say, 3, it eliminates the distraction or the confusion. Oh, it's true. Maybe I'll do this today or that tomorrow. And then the next is, what is the best way to structure that? So this is quite simple, right? Have a herbal tea before you have your coffee. Use coffee more as a pre-workout. Begin to understand how your system works. So that's part of the improvement, is begin to absorb the information around these improvements. And I can only imagine that there'll be a few people say, you need to improve your hairstyle. That's all good. I'm not too concerned with that right now. This is more an expression, and the importance of expressing the idea and getting that out to the public. Where it has the potential to bring in the improvements that you're looking for. So it's very interesting when we begin to change how we speak. We can change how we think, and how we change or improve how we think, we begin to improve how we speak. And then through those, we begin to improve how we act, how we behave, our feelings, our reactions to feelings. And once again, this definitely does derive from the improvement of accumulating my masculine life-producing essence. Talk about that another day. For now, thank you for tuning in. Get some tea into you. Lift the weights. Do good things for you. And be good, be great, and be brilliant. See you on the next one.